Hey everybody, welcome back to Little Shop of Hoarders in the PDX Picker channel. It's Chris. Gonna pull some orders that sold for me on eBay. I also have a question that I want to get your feedback on. It's regarding whether I should pay the money to hopefully get more for this item or just stick with it as is. So stick around after the intro song, get to pulling those orders, talking about that question.
Wanna buy that Farrah Fawcett poster? There's dispensers and a toaster. Don't know why. That kind of stuff you throw away. I'll sell on eBay.
All right, so it's the third day in a row of pulling orders. Sales super good for me. I am loving this November. There's still basically 9.5 sales days left. I feel pretty confident that I'm going to break my all-time sales record. Hopefully there's going to be some Black Friday and Cyber Monday shoppers out there that'll help put me over the edge for sure, although I think Cyber Monday actually occurs in December. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's pull a few orders and then I'll show you what that question is that I want to get your feedback on. So we have 11 items going out today. The grand total for everything is right around $500. So pretty good sales total, pretty good sales day. Let's pull that first order. I picked these items up at my local thrift store a while back, not that long ago, maybe 2 months. Kind of given up on my local thrift store, and then I went back there and found these and turned out to be quite a nice little find. And also goes to show that you shouldn't sleep on off-brand toner cartridges. So these are 3 toner cartridges that are 4 HP printers. They look like that there, but they're not HP branded toner. Picked these up for $4.99 each. There's a cyan, a yellow, and a magenta, so it's the color replacement cartridges. So $14.97 for all 3 of those. I took an offer for $70 free shipping. I went ahead and took the lower offer because it just so happens that the person that sent me the offer lives in the neighboring state. So it's going to be really cheap to send these, probably less than $10. So more likely I'll get around $60 after the shipping. So $15 into $60. Pretty good. And again, these are off-brand. Probably something you buy on Amazon or something like it. I don't even think it has a brand name. So, nice little sale on that one. I don't often pick up lower model, like Nike shoes. When I say lower model, I kind of mean like the entry model or lower priced ones, you know, maybe brand new, they're only 50 bucks. But these ones were in such good condition that I thought I should probably do it. It wasn't a huge sale, but that's the rationale for why I went ahead and picked them up. These are what's sold right here. These are Nike, I think, Lunar Lawn is the model. L-U-N-A-R-L-O-N. Lunar Lawn. I don't know what that means or why they... Not even close. Lunar Solo. No idea where I got Lunar Lawn. Maybe there's another model like that. Anyway, I don't even know if this has come through because these are so dark, so black, and so clean, but just hardly worn at all. So those sold for $20.97. I think I originally had them listed for $29.95. Probably were on sale, but only spent $5 on them. So still an okay profit. And I didn't have to do any prep on these because they were already so clean, so that was a huge bonus. I have kind of a nice little stack of shoes that I need to clean because they're not in sales ready condition. So that's a bit of an annoying thing because they just sit there for quite some time before I even get the motivation to clean them. It's not super fun to clean. Shoes. Okay, this sold here. It's a Mary Kay lip gloss. The Shock Tart color. Picked this up for 50 cents and a whole bunch of other makeups. That sold for $10.40. Free shipping. Super easy to list, super easy to ship. So not too bad on that. All right, let's go ahead and pull one more item, and then we'll get into that question. This is a really good sale, or much better sale compared to a lot of the others. Picked this up for, I think it was just $5.99 at my favorite thrift store. Kind of an unassuming looking jacket. But it sold for $60. And yeah, paid $5.99 for it. So if you look at it again, kind of unassuming, just a basic windbreaker type jacket. It's got this volleyball looking thing on there, and it says Griffins on there, and then on the back, it's got a big, nice Missouri MO West. This is a vintage 90s jacket for Missouri Western University. I think Missouri Western State University. And, you know, I looked online, and I didn't know whether or not to get it, but I looked online, and a whole bunch of Missouri Western clothing was selling on eBay. Most of it was more, you know, much more recent stuff. So the fact that there was quite a bit of things selling online led me to believe that this school has a pretty good following when it comes to clothing. And it only took about a month to sell, so not too bad. It's by a brand, I don't think anyone's heard of it, or at least I hadn't. Jammin', made in the USA. I'll show you the tag on there. It's actually that logo right there. But there it is, the tag. But I have a feeling this was probably given to the volleyball team back in the day, in the 90s. Has some condition issues. That tends to happen with vintage white stuff. Disclosed it. Still a nice sale. It is another cold and rainy day here. I think I might be getting a little bit of a cold, but I really hope not. I've really been trying to fight it off. So, all right, here's my question for you guys. I picked this up actually, and I feel like I've been talking a lot about it lately, but in a Whatnot auction from fellow YouTuber Resale Mania. He's out of Bozeman, Montana. He had a Whatnot sale. I bought a few things from him, sold one of them already. He just wasn't having a lot of traction on sales. I think there were only, I don't know, 8 or 10 people in the show. I ended up buying about 6 or 7 things pretty cheap, and one of them was this item here. I think I maybe spent $5 on it. It might have only been as little as 1 or 2. And this is what it is here. He called it kind of a lot of baseball, vintage baseball photos. I'll show them real quick. There's quite a hefty glare on there, but these are photos from a Boston Red Sox game. Kind of looks like they might be playing the Orioles based off of the color of that catcher's uniform there. These themselves might have some value because there's probably no other copies of these photos out there. These are all 8x10s. I think they are from 1978, right around that time period. And I'll let you know why I think that here in a second. Looks like it's the A's they were playing against. So I was off on that color. It looked orange to me, but it was yellow. So right there is the last of the photos. The reason I think this is from 1978 is in the front is a program from 1978. 1978 Red Sox, 3rd edition. Come to find out, this program itself is a little bit historic, has some value on its own. This is from a one-game playoff that occurred between the Red Sox and the Yankees in the last game of the season. In 1978, they finished tied going into, or when the regular season ended, and so they needed to have a one-game playoff to decide who would move on to the postseason. What's cool about this program is it has an autograph on the front, and I had no idea who it was. It's not authenticated, and that's my question for you guys. I actually went on to Facebook to a Facebook group called something like Baseball Autograph Identifiers. The purpose of the group is you post a photo of a baseball autograph on there, and these people that are members of the group have, you know, seen a lot of other autographs out there, and there's a good chance they'll be able to identify the vast majority of the autographs that are posted on there, as long as it's from somebody that played in the major leagues. Even some of the minor league signatures they're able to identify. Pretty cool. I went ahead and posted this program on here in this particular signature, so let me show you what the autograph is. Not exactly sure how that will come through. It looks like it comes through pretty nice, but you can see a nice signature or autograph right there. It is not this person, because this person that's photographed is Don Zimmer, former Yankee bench coach, I think, or some sort of affiliation with the Yankees, and he was also In this particular season, I believe he was the Red Sox manager. But that, I can very safely say, is not Don Zimmer's autograph because it just doesn't look anything like it. When I posted it onto the group, I had 5 or 6 people that were pretty definitively thinking that this was George Steinbrenner's autograph. Won't go into all the specifics of the history of George Steinbrenner, but briefly let you know he was the owner of the Yankees for a long, long time. And his autograph is actually relatively somewhat rare and relatively valuable. As long as it's on an authenticated item, or on an item where the signature, the autograph has been authenticated. I've seen some sales in the $100 to $200, $300 range, depending on the item. This program itself will every so often sell for about $8 to $15. As far as I know, if this is in fact a George Steinbrenner autograph, this could be the only copy in existence of this particular games program, and the reason you know that it's that particular games program is due to the statistics that are printed on the inside. So you got the rarity of the game, the fact that it was a very special, unique game. It's an extra regular season game that doesn't happen very often. It's the Yankees versus the Red Sox, which is probably the #1 all-time greatest rivalry in Major League Baseball. It's a very well-known, if it turns out to be him, figure in Yankees history, George Steinbrenner, and the autograph is on a Red Sox program. The Yankees, in fact, won that game, so it's kind of a blow against the Red Sox in the whole rivalry history. I don't know, it could have some relatively significant value, but that's just my own take on it. I am by no means a sports history expert. I don't know. It could be one of those things where maybe it's not that big of a deal to somebody. So my question, though, is do you think I should pay the money to get it authenticated? It's probably somewhere around $50 to $100 to get it authenticated. I don't know exactly how much it is, but it's a relatively large investment. I only have about $1 or $2 at the most into this, or maybe let's say $5 at the most into this program as it is. I could probably throw it up there onto eBay as is, and probably sell it for $100, $150 maybe. Assuming somebody believed this was George Steinbrenner's autograph. Maybe it would only sell for $50. Maybe it wouldn't really sell at all. Maybe somebody would look at it and go, that's just a defaced version of the actual program that's only worth about $10 to $15 to begin with. So let me know what you think, guys. What would you do in this situation? Would you take the risk, shell out some extra money, and try and get it authenticated on the off chance or on the hopes that once it was authenticated, that the value of it would be far surpass the amount that you pay for the authentication? Comment below. Let me know what you would do in this situation. I'll let you guys know what I do in the future, and we'll go from there. On another note, speaking of that, in my last video, I mentioned how I had this buyer who had bought this camera from me 2.5 months ago, had all sorts of issues, technological issues with it. At one point, they sounded like they were going to return the camera, never opened a return. I gave them step-by-step instructions on how to do it. They never said a word about whether or not they were going to do it. And then months go by, and all of a sudden I get a message from them asking about what to do with this error message they're getting on the camera, which had lens error. And essentially it was probably due to either getting some dirt or sand in the lens or something of that nature. So I asked you guys, what would you do in that scenario? Would you help them out, go through the process? I Googled the steps on things that they could do, but would you have given them all the step-by-step instructions on how they could fix that issue? Would you offer them to return the camera again for a refund, if that's even possible at this late stage in the game? What would you have done in this scenario? Well, as of the filming of this video, I haven't released that other video yet, so I don't know what you all suggested that I do, and frankly, I don't even know if I'm going to get any comments on that particular video, because you never know. Sometimes I post a video, I have 100 people watch it, and I get no comments. Sometimes I post a video and I get 15 comments. Who knows? But anyway, I will say that what I decided to do was tell the person to just Google the solution to their problem. I was not going to open myself up to continuously being their tech support on this camera. I sold it to them 2.5 months ago. I walked them through a problem that they originally had with the SD card, step by step, trying to get them to fix that for them. Again, I walked them through step by step the process on how to return the item, and I didn't get any real credit for it, if you want to put it that way, other than the sale came through, you know, and they didn't return the item. But now 2.5 months later, they're asking me another tech-related question. I don't want to be their tech support for months and months and months down the line, especially when all I'm doing is just Googling the answers to these questions. I don't know anything about how cameras work. I'm not a tech wizard or anything like that, and I don't really feel like I'm responsible for being tech support for them for months and months and months and years into the future. So I just basically told them, hey, you should just Google how to fix this problem. They responded with a question of, you mean where? Which I think they took at me saying like they should look for a local camera repair facility, but I literally just meant, no, look up on Google how to find or fix this issue, fix this problem. I don't know. Haven't heard anything back from them since then, but that's the update on what I decided to do with the kind of overbearing customer who thinks of me as their tech support for this camera that they bought from me. All right, let's go ahead and pull the rest of the orders. I had another Mary Kay item sell. This one was kind of funny because of what happened. This is a dark denim eyeliner. Again, paid 50 cents for this one. This one sold $13.90 free shipping. The person bought it from me yesterday. I got a message from them this morning that said, hey, this dark denim eyeliner arrived and it was all dried out, completely unusable. Can you send me a refund? At first I thought, I didn't know who it was that sent this. I thought, I've sold a few of these in the past, Mary Kay related makeup items in the past. I thought it was something I sold a couple of weeks ago. But then I noticed, based off of the info that eBay gave me related to that question, that this was an order that was just placed yesterday. I hadn't even shipped the item out yet. So I responded and said, basically said that I hadn't shipped the item out yet. Don't know what they're talking about. I'm assuming they probably ordered one from somebody else. They did receive it. It was all dried out and they were trying to message them, but they just got confused because they also ordered one from me. They haven't responded to my question. You would think they would once they realize, oh, oops, I made a goof, to clarify, but anyway, it is what it is. Spent 50 cents, sold at $13.90, free shipping. This item, when I bought it a long time ago. I didn't list it for quite some time, but it finally, I don't know, I probably listed it a year ago, 6 months ago. At least 6 months ago, that's for sure. And I actually took this out I'm going to post a video about how to list clothes, or how I list clothes anyway. And this was one of them that I used as an example. It is this vintage Gap crew neck sweatshirt. Picked it up for $3 at church rummage sale last year. When I was filming the video and I had it laid out on my flat lay, clothes flat lay over there, I kind of took a look at it and I realized it has quite a few condition issues. There's a pinhole right there. There's some kind of staining of sorts, kind of like a grease stain or something up here. And I had it listed for $30 and then it was in my 40% off sale, so it was down to $18 or something like that. Somebody sent me a $15 offer and I went ahead and took it. It's a cool 90s crew neck, but I think the condition issues were really causing the value to go down. Originally I thought it was maybe going to be worth about $35, but it just doesn't have the condition for that. I think there's also even a little stain, like maybe a paint stain right there. So I sold it for $15. And again, it was already in my 40% off sale because it had been 6 months or more that it had been listed without a sale. So I'm happy to get it out the door. A lot of smalls sold for me today, which is nice, because I don't have a lot of room in my smalls drawer. So this is clearing up some space. This is one of my razors, vintage razors. Sorry if my face was out of the picture on that. So I bought this big, huge lot of vintage razors. And I'm not sure if this one was in it or not, but I paid $4.66 for that. So these are old straight razors. I have no idea if that's going to focus at all. Pretty decent condition. Nice big Gillette on the front there. You're not seeing any of this because it's just not focusing. That sold for $17.95 plus shipping. I like these. They're super cool. I think I could see myself collecting them, which is probably why I was willing to pay a little bit more than I should have. I mean, $4.66 into $18 is not horrible, but not exactly a screaming great. Not exactly a screaming great score. I did finally receive a message from the person about that Mary Kay eyeliner, and they did apologize and realized they were supposed to be sending that message to the original. Somebody else they bought it from, but accidentally sent it to me. Anyway, this next item I sold, the big winner seller of the day, sold it for $100. Also had an interesting story along with this. There's a lot of interesting stories. I have another one to mention as well. Picked these up for $39.99 at the thrift store. So I paid up for them, but based off of the brand and the condition, I felt okay with it, and it turned out to be good because, as I mentioned, I sold them for $100. It's this pair of Eldorado. These are handmade. Eldorado's the brand. Ostrich stitch, or not ostrich stitch, ostrich skin, full quill leather cowboy boots. So kind of combination of leather and then ostrich skin here. Full quill, for those of you that don't know, basically if you can rub your hand along these and like if they really stick out, it means they are, well, I don't know, I'm assuming it means that it's real ostrich skin, and also they leave a little bit more, I don't know what it is. Anyway, don't listen to me. But nonetheless, had somebody message me and offered me $95 for these. They said, hey, these look like really nice boots. Would you take $95? And I originally had these listed for $120. I didn't have any offers turned on. But I messaged them back and I said, you know, I'll go ahead and sell them for $100. And then I sent them an offer for $100. In the meantime, I didn't hear back from them. And like 4 or 5 hours later, I had somebody else message me about these same boots and ask if I would take any less for them. I said I would take $100. I sent them the same offer, and they accepted the offer and bought the boots. And that's who is getting the boots that I'm shipping them to. Well, then the next day, today, the original person that messaged me and said they would, they really like the boots and they'd want to offer $95, responded by saying, well, you know, I've taken the time to look, and based off of the condition and what others are selling for, now I'm only comfortable offering you $90 for them. Very weird. This is a person with only one feedback. It was a relatively new eBay account. I don't know if that has any bearing on it whatsoever. Kind of just a weird way to, hey, would you take $95 for these? And I said, and then when I offer $100, they come back and then offer even less. Not exactly a great negotiating tactic. Of course, I mentioned to them that I'd already sold it for $100, so it doesn't really matter. But just kind of a weird little interaction on these boots. And also weird that I had two separate people in the same day. I've had quite a few watchers on these, but no other messages, no real other contact about these boots, but I had two in the same day. On in terms of interesting stories, but on a bit of a negative note, a couple of days ago, I sold a pair of Burton Ion snowboard boots, and I sold them on eBay. They were already in my probably 40% off sale, so they were marked down already, and then somebody offered me $30 for them, and I accepted it for it. I bought them for $6.99. I was pretty excited because I haven't had any success selling any sort of skiing or snowboard related items, although I finally sold a few lately, and I actually have another pair later in this video that I'll pull. Well, again, having some issues with Vendoo. Apparently, and I don't know if this ever happens, I think I have to go to Poshmark and pull down any listings. Vendoo will not automatically end listings on Poshmark for items that sell on eBay. Well, turns out those boots were still listed on Poshmark, and I had them listed at the full price of $90. Well, somebody went ahead and they bought those boots for the full $90. Problem is, I already shipped them. I don't have them. So I had to cancel that sale, but what maybe makes it even worse is I only sold them for $30 on eBay when I could have If I just held out a little bit longer, or if that other person hadn't bought them, could have sold them for $90 on Poshmark. So that's a big wah wah for sure. Quite a bummer. Oh well, it is what it is. The biggest problem I have is that I had to cancel the order, which probably is a knock on my record for Poshmark, and I think that's the second one I've had to cancel on there, and I just had to cancel another one on eBay. So I've had to cancel 2 orders this week and 3 in the last probably 2 months. So a bit frustrating. I hate canceling orders because of them being out of stock. Apparently the person that bought the boots, snowboard boots, hasn't paid for them yet. So I won't be pulling them in this video unless they happen to pay for them in the next couple of minutes. But this item sold. I picked this up for $5 at a yard sale. I spent a lot of time at this yard sale. Had a lot of good books because the homeowner used to be probably a theology professor, or at the very least a pastor, and had just tons and tons and tons of old, valuable theological texts and things. But he had this those are all really super expensive. The estate sale person was literally pricing them on eBay in front of me because they weren't priced before I walked in. But some of them were, they didn't take the time to do, like this Bible. Again, it's a chronological Bible, King James Version by Regal. I think the difference in this is it tells us the same stories in the Bible, but in chronological time order. That sold for $44.95 plus shipping. And quite quickly, probably about 1 month, maybe 6 weeks. Okay. Persistence. Persistence pays off. There's something going on in eBay where, like I mentioned, those boots had 2 different buyers on the same day message me about them. I have this Carhartt Clarksburg half zip or quarter zip hoodie, women's size 14-16, listed for $24.95. And I think I mentioned in my last video, multiple people sending me offers, lowball offers for $12, $13, $15. I kept countering and saying I wasn't going to go lower than $20. I had a couple of the people, or one person just didn't respond and eventually didn't buy it. I had another person decline my $20 offer. And then lo and behold, today, the very next day, I had somebody send me an offer. I countered at $20, said that's the lowest I'll go, and they bought it for $20. So like I mentioned, persistence pays off. When you have a good item that you are getting a lot of traction on, or you just don't want to sell it for less than a certain amount, just stick to your guns. This hadn't been listed that long, and so, you know, Carhartt's a good brand. Hoodies are always going to sell, especially at this time of the year. So I decided to stick with the $20, and it paid off. Instead of taking the low ball, $20, or instead of taking the low ball $15, $16 offers, the highest I got the one person to was $18. I said 20 was the highest or the lowest I'll go. They declined the $20 offer. They were only going to pay $18. They themselves were sticking to their guns. More power to them. Nothing wrong with what they did. Just like I hope there's nothing wrong with what I did. Last item that sold, another small. Picked this up at a garage sale over the summer, and not a good one. Because when I comped this, I actually did comp this, and for some reason I just miscomped it. Didn't find the right one. But this is a little tiny thing from Dallas and James. Watermelon Dream Cloud Cream Lotion, basically. Kind of a tester size. I think it's half a fluid ounce. Paid $1 for it. It sold for $8.99. Free shipping. Should not have bought it. Was not worth it, but thankfully it's small. Thankfully I still will make money. It really wasn't worth $1 or $2, but whatever. It is what it is. All right, so again, comment below. What would you do about that autograph? Would you get it authenticated or not? Thanks so much for watching. Please like this video if you did, and subscribe to my channel. Get more content like this in the future. Good luck with all your reselling ventures out there, and we'll catch you on the next video. So take care. Bye-bye.